Hi, welcome to your messages. This is Pastel Daughter. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We're just gonna We're just gonna jump right into it. I'm feeling very energetic, so we're gonna start with what was coming through immediately, and what made me start recording was the empress. I was just hearing the empress. She just became very apparent to me for some reason. So I do think that you are in a really good you're in the middle of a really good window of opportunity, or like a portal season. And I am hearing season, so this is lasting quite a few weeks or even months. A season where you're making significant change, but creations. So I feel like these aren't changes that you're just making for no little reason or for no insignificant reason. It could start from like a small trigger or a small spark, but these feel like creations that are just very, very significant. Like they alter different aspects of your life and can kind of branch out into multiple things. So it feels like a time of creating something that it just feels very, very big. I feel like I skipped over something that I said. Let me read the transcript really quick, because there was something I wanted to... Yeah, a portal season. And I feel like you're not only likely having more resources available to you to make this happen, but it feels like the motivation is just very heavy on your mind. It's like waking up and knowing what you need, knowing what you want. But yeah, with this Empress energy, I just wanted to say, like, there's this very beautiful energy of creation, and it's like you're able to create a lot right now. However, it doesn't even have to be like you're constantly making something every day. You're like working on different things and you're keeping your schedule packed. I don't think it's really that. It's more so you're creating one thing. It feels like you're centered on one thing, but that thing benefits so many other things, which is why the creation is like, I'm hearing ripe. It's very fertile. It's very fruitful, because this one thing is so major that it just affects many things. So I do feel like this is a great time for that, and Spirit just wanted to tell you that, like, emphasize that so much. And there's this like buzz to the energy. Oh my gosh, there's just like a beautiful sunset outside right now. I've had my windows closed all of today. I just have not been enjoying. I've just been needing some quiet, shadowy time. So I opened the windows right now, and there's just this like beautiful sunset. It's so pretty. The sunsets here are quite beautiful, and there's this like orangey tint with like pink and light blue, and I can see the moon, and she's almost full. She's just beautiful, and I hadn't even noticed the moon, because already, like, when I started recording, I was like, I'm gonna talk about the sunset because I think that's important, and it is, and I'm gonna talk about it in a second. But I hadn't noticed the moon until right now. So that tells me two things. First, with the sunset, I feel like what I was hearing is that you are going to be seeing, it's like something in your life is going to still exist, but it's becoming a background thing. And I'm seeing, like, when the sun sets, the sky is becoming dark, but the sun is still shedding light on a different part of the world. So it's like something where there once was light is no longer going to be lit. So now the light is going to something that does matter and feels good. And it feels, there's this like comforting, calming feeling. It's like you look at this thing in your life and you feel good about it. You feel safe. You feel like, oh, this is right. And I like, you like looking at it. It's something that's pleasing to look at. And I think this thing where you were previously like shining your light or your focus, like your light, think of like a flashlight or the sun pointing towards something. That thing which you were previously focused on and putting your light on is now like going to the background. And I think that thing was not pleasant to look at. So it's like the sun is setting. That's what I was hearing. The sun is setting, and it just feels so reassuring and good to say that. It's like you would think that sunshine would be the one that brings about a good feeling, you know? Like, the sun is shining. It's like, no. New things are not coming to light. It's something you already knew that is, like, washing away. It's losing importance. It's like the right thing was always right in front of you. It's just the majority of your light was looking at something else and having to focus on something else. And now you can focus on what you want to. And it's like the sun is setting. No need to worry. That thing is coming to a close. And with the moon on top of that message, it feels like there was probably something about like emotions being ignored or not faced or not looked at, and you were having to like stare certain emotions and feelings in the face where it wasn't really healthy for you or just not beneficial, and it was not allowing you to create. So I think you can kind of, I'm hearing that you can kind of like open up these like portals that I like mentioned, of like a portal of creation, this like empress portal, empress creation season. I feel like you can make these for yourself by facing your emotions head on. And when you do that, it's like you allow yourself to create more freely, which is interesting. I wonder if there was some emotion that you were looking at it, or like you were experiencing it really strongly and you were aware of it, but you just were trying not to give it so much attention, maybe because it you were afraid it would like consume you, or you were afraid it would kind of like affect you negatively even more, to kind of look that in the face. But I think you came to like a resting period where you were like, now I have to look this in the face. And I think it must have been, I just heard problematic, like it must have felt like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, am I pulling at a thread? Like, if I start to pay attention to this, what's gonna happen? But then you did, and I think at the end of the tunnel was this, the sun is setting, meaning you are gonna be able to put that to rest soon, as long as you keep acknowledging this emotion and this need that comes from like, I feel like it comes from like a deep, what would you call it, like emotional necessity, something that's not just like a craving or something to satisfy yourself, or just like a little pleasure or a desire. It's an actual emotional need, which a lot of the times maybe you've gotten lost in the past, or like in a daze about your emotions and been like, oh, that's just like a desire that I have. It's not something that really needs to be satisfied or fulfilled. But this was, which understandably is why it was hard to really pay close attention to it and give it more time, because I think when feelings are like deep emotional needs are so much harder to nurture and like give to, because there's a lot at stake, there's a lot on the line. You're afraid if it doesn't, like, if you're not able to heal that or give yourself like what you need or get what you need, maybe from the outside, like support or something, then you're just gonna get disappointed and it's gonna feel even harder and burrow you even more. But I feel like this is a situation where the more you look into it and really try to explore your options of like, how can I fulfill this part of me? How can I give this emotion, this need, the attention it deserves? And I don't think you're to blame for feeling worried about how hard it would be, or how like difficult it would be to accomplish that, because it probably is a very complex thing, and there's probably decisions related to it that are hard to even think about. But just giving it time of day, consideration, dedication, putting in littlest of tiniest of efforts day by day. It's like a one day at a time kind of energy. So I think it's so interesting that it's like you were almost okay, I'm hearing something now about how there's like a dynamic still about the sunset and the moon, and the sun and the moon, and light and darkness. So I think maybe how it's coming through is a message of like, maybe one part of your life is actually doing so well, or like a quality in yourself, that it almost blinded you and kind of fooled you into thinking that the rest would take care of itself and resolve itself, because that quality, should be able to like tolerate and just settle for things. So I'm trying to think of a more concrete example, because I know that probably could have been a little ambiguous. So maybe it's like somebody who's super ambitious, and they see themselves as this ambitious person, and they know themselves as like passionate, and they know that their ambition can do great things. And because of this ambition, they think that just the sole act of being an ambitious person can like heal a wound from like a deep wound by itself. It's like, well, the fact that you're ambitious is really important and good, but don't let that blind you or like distract you from like deeper necessities, and like don't try to bury things because one thing in your life, you think one thing in your life should hold the sole responsibility for everything else. It's like everything is its own thing, and like things are connected, but when it's something as deep as emotions, it's best not to get carried away with like, oh, I'm not doing great with my emotions and my mental health at all, but my career is going really well, and that should make me happy. Like, I need to be more grateful. That should satisfy me. If my career is good, then my mental health should be good too. It's like, it's great that your career is good, and that does deserve your happiness and gratitude, of course, but it is a separate thing, and like your mental health is asking, or your emotions or whatever it may be that's, wanting your attention. That should be the priority, and it should be its individual thing. And that's why I was saying at the beginning, like, this one thing, your emotions, your needs, it connects to literally everything else in your life. You may not be able to fully feel passionate and joyful and thankful for the career life you live if you are struggling with some very difficult emotions. So it's something like that. Something else that was coming through was the color yellow. It felt very, very important. Yellow is, to me, the color of joy, happiness. It does remind me of spring. So it does feel like an inner spring season, like reawakening a part of yourself that needed to just hibernate for a while and kind of like marinate. It's like, I think you've experienced a sort of journey with this thing of like a lot of ups and downs of like, yeah, I know this, and like an awareness that like, yeah, something isn't for you, it isn't meant for you, it doesn't do you a lot of good, but you can try your best to still withstand it and tolerate it. And so you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep withstanding it. And I think you spent a good deal of time trying your absolute best and like making it your duty in a way so that you would enjoy something as much as you could. And because of that period of time where you've already tried everything possible, like you've tried pushing this thing away, you've tried welcoming it, you've tried accepting it, just like settling, and you've tried all these things. So it's like because of this trial period, you've realized, oh, now I have enough evidence or enough information, and I've lived it enough to know it's time for something else. It's time to create something else. And it's time to really find the actual key and the actual door. And the thing is, I feel like you have the key, but you're looking for the door in this situation. You have the key, and you probably don't even know that you have the key. Like, you don't know what it is. You may feel like you're looking around for the key, but really you're looking for the door. This symbolism, I hope it's not driving anybody crazy, but it's like really coming through is that you have the key, you're just looking for the door, and the door exists, and I'm actually seeing multiple doors. So it's okay if you don't think you have the key, because once you find the door, you'll see that the like you'll have the key to open the thing, and it'll fit the door, and you'll know. It's like, to translate that, it's like let's say a door of opportunity like becomes like you find it shows up in your life, or you walk towards it and you find it, and then you open the door and you're like, how do I open this door? It's like, well, you don't know this when you don't see the door. Like, how do I explain this? It's like, okay, you picture a door and you're like, how would I open the door? Because maybe it has a security password, maybe somebody has to let me in, maybe I have to have like a specific key. And you're going through all these like, am I prepared? Like, do I have the tools? Do I have the right quote unquote key to go through the door? But then you actually get to the door, and it's like, you literally just have to like open it, put your hand on the doorknob, and then twist it and open it. And that's it. It's like one of those, all that to say, like, in this situation, you are very much on this walk to something where you are already prepared. And you'll only know what to do in the moment, and you just have to trust that you are prepared and you have the right skills or tools or words to say or resources, things like this. So it's very interesting. I do feel like you're waking up to something very important, so we're just gonna get some cards really quick. I have them like spread in front of me, and I just shuffle them a little bit and then spread the entire deck. So I'm picking them out. Go ahead and send me your energy so I pick the right cards for you. And I just heard the number 7. You're going to be a lot luckier than you feel or than you think you are. You may feel like you're typically quite unlucky with like breakthroughs. Maybe you feel like you're lucky in some areas of your life, and in others you're like or like maybe I'm stuttering. You see yourself as a lucky person, like you have like natural luck, but you haven't felt lucky for a long time, or something about like you feel lucky yet unlucky things happen, or something like that feels significant for somebody. could just be like a small confirmation for someone. So let's reveal these cards. We have Judgment, a major arcana. Didn't I just say you're waking up to something? Judgment is indeed a wake-up call. It's like something is becoming so apparent by closing or by ending or by being like a dark period of time or by the light fading. It's like you're waking up by going to sleep, something like that. It's like you're letting something just happen and die down, or like you're letting something end so you can have this new beginning. But I do also think like something is becoming so apparent that you need to kind of like wake up, snap out of it, get out of that, do something new, create something. And something about like a route, the specific route you take. Let's see what the other cards are. 7 of Cups. No. Yes, this is the 7 of Cups. It's very dark. It's starting to get darker now, so I can barely see the cards. The 7 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. 2 cards that can talk about contemplation and different options. So if you put these two together, it's very much a message of you're putting 2 and 2 together in your life. It's like one thing is combining with another and helping you find a solution to how to make something happen in your life, or how to get the solution that you want, find the answer you seek. And it's something that for a long time has been kind of on the down low. It has been quieter. It has been kind of, what's that phrase? Like, it's been kind of pushed to the side because you felt like there was an overwhelming lack of options. And I think now you're able to like piece things together. And I just heard it's a wrap. Like, you're going to be able to piece things together, and you're going to reach that moment, which I think is what you really want. It's this moment of, it's a wrap, I'm done. That's that. And like, I'm seeing somebody like brush their hands together, like, it's a wrap, I'm done. Finally I'm done, or finally I'm starting. Something like that. Let's get some more cards before I finish, because I feel like there's more to this story. We have what is this? Is this the 8 of Cups? Okay. Huh. This is actually a crazy message, but yeah, it was the 8 of Cups. I just had to make sure because it was dark. With the Devil, I mean, I can't even explain to you how, like, it feels good to see that, because the 8 of Cups talks about moving away from something, and it takes a lot of strength, maturity. It takes emotional maturity, like a crazy level of either restraint or freeing yourself, depending on the context. But it's like seeing something for what it is, even though it's really hard, and even though for probably a long time you weren't fully seeing it as it was for self-protection because of the difficulty, and I feel like just the difficulty of the situation. And this is something that you're walking away from. I heard specifically learning to walk away from, which is interesting. It's like all this time you were learning how to walk away from it, when really it wasn't about learning. It wasn't about you improving or you changing yourself or you it wasn't about like challenges. It was really about like, when do I feel ready? And when do I feel emotionally prepared to depart from this thing, which the devil is something that has been a sort of attachment or something where you may have had a strong mismatch of energy. Could have been something that in some ways, I feel like in some small ways it was good for you, but for the most part was either draining you or depleting you, just overall a lack of safety, and overall something that you felt like you needed rather than you actually needed it or wanted it. It was just like an inner pressure, an inner voice that's like, you have to still be here, you still have to do this, you shouldn't want this, you should want. It's like a bunch of should, and not what do I actually need. And I'm seeing freedom from that. I'm seeing welcoming an energy of, let me actually choose what I want. Because that's what the devil kind of strays from, is the power, the beauty of choice. You've probably felt choiceless for a very long time. And that's coming to an end. That's the wake up that's happening. Let's get 2 more cards. Temperance. Beautiful. With, I can't see, with the 2 of Pentacles. Very balanced, harmonious kind of message here. And I was just talking about like even energy exchange, of how you were experiencing an uneven energy exchange with a certain situation in your life. Well, that's certainly resolving. I can't, like, you have 3 major arcana and they're the core messages of the reading. And you started with the empress, so that's 4. But this temperance really here is so like alleviating. It's like a weight lifting off your shoulder, realizing how much control you have over a situation. And I was just talking about like freeing yourself, and temperance is ruled by Sagittarius. So that's freedom. That's true. That's like the pursuit of a life that is meaningful. You're like now allowed to really choose the meaning for things in your life, because I feel like for a long time you've been stuck feeling like, oh, I need to create or make this. Like, you've always been, I feel like, a creator and somebody who sets out to do things and challenges themselves and like is always eager to like learn something or have like a good takeaway from a bad situation. Somebody who works on themselves a lot. It's like you've always been putting in a lot of effort and felt this like pressure, like make something, do something, don't just sit around. You have to do something, you have to help yourself. It's like now you get to choose, or like you haven't always known this, but now you know, you're waking up to the fact that you can make what you need or want to, not just things that you feel pressured or you feel like you have to. There's so much here about things in your life, like a common theme I feel like has been for you of feeling like you have to do something, feeling like you have to cover up for someone, feeling like you have to say like a specific thing to someone. It's just like a thought in your head that pressures you and pushes you to do something, not because it's like something you actually need to do for yourself, but I think from a place of like anxiety, like if I don't do this, something's gonna go wrong. And maybe that's been a constant thing that happens of like, I need to do this, I need to make this happen, or else something bad's gonna happen. And it's kind of like this, it reminds me of OCD, which maybe, you know, it's anxiety just manifesting in a very compulsive way. But, you know, obsessive thinking, that also is part of the devil, is obsessive thinking and going back to things or doing things repeatedly, patterns that come from fear rather than from want. And temperance is like, well, now I actually know what wellness really is. And the beautiful thing is that this like temperance feeling and this balance and this understanding of like things is happening as a result of you, what I spoke of earlier, of facing the emotions that you have to face and realizing there's things that I had to look at this entire time, that I thought by looking at them, it's kind of like it was flipped. Like there was things that you thought you had to look at, like let's look at the positive side of the world, let's look at the sunny things, like how I mentioned earlier, like being blinded by the sun, being blinded by what is good. And I think that's a strength of yours. It's not a bad thing at all. That's optimism, that's positivity. But I think it got to a point where you were like, well, I have to stay positive, I have to be optimistic, I have to see the bigger picture, I have to think that this is destiny, and I have to, which can happen a lot in spirituality, is like you have to look at the good side every single time. And you realized this freeing truth of, no, what I have to look at is my emotions and the truth. And only after you've processed something was really bad or really painful, or you're going through something really hard and you have all these crazy emotions to navigate, it's only after you navigate them and truly see like, wow, this is going to change my life because I'm paying attention to it and because I'm putting my care and attention and focus towards it. And that is so much more productive and beautiful and helpful and beneficial to not only what happens in my life externally and what I create and what I make, which is important, but most importantly for my body, for my wellness, for my mind, which, you know, like how what they say, like your body is a temple, your mind is a temple. And I think your optimism is a very beautiful quality, but if it's running from a place of fear or like functioning from a place of I have to be optimistic in order to survive, I have to, it almost jumps, it leaps into invalidation sometimes, because you're choosing, you know, somebody said that I would fall apart if I wasn't positive, or you yourself tell yourself like, if I don't stay positive, things are going to be bad. But there's something so crucial about looking at your emotions. And the moon is it's glowing so brightly right now. It's actually like creating little like streaks of light. It's like your emotions are gonna pour out anyway, so you might as well give them a lot of care and treat almost like your emotions as children. Like children don't always know, actually, like that's the whole thing about children, is they don't know, they need guidance. So if you give them the proper care and the time and love that they need, because that is all a human heart and emotions really need, is that love, then beautiful things can happen from that. And you're starting to wake up from that, and it's going to help you snap out of things, and it's going to create all these beautiful things that I talked about. So that was a great energy to read for, and I just want to say thank you for allowing me to read for that. I really hope this resonated. Please let me know how it did. As always, I'm sending you lots of love, and I hope to see you here soon again, and thank you so much, and bye. Bye.